Hello friends, you joined me today in the middle of some construction. That's right, I am building out some more magnetic coil and electric motor builds. I'm going to try and focus in this series on not repeating builds too much. If we've seen it before, I'm kind of going to just cut through it because we want to get to the combat. And we're already on episode 4, and I'd say we're not actually quite there yet, believe it or not. We've got a ways to go. Okay, nice, but we have magnetic coils and we have electric motors. Expect the cuts between things to now increase considerably, because I am now only going to pretty much show you new builds. There are going to be a few of them, quite a few. We've still got a long way to go, but not all that long. Alright, we are now going to build a 2-in-1 hour tower base, 1 out tower basic right over here, with the proliferator, because yes, we can make those now. We have done the research, and voila, there is communication control level 2. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and pick up energy circuit. Let's get some drive engine so I can fly faster. Let's get bigger construction. That would be very nice. Let's get construction drone tasks. Let's get mechanical frame. Okay, all of the speed, all of the upgrades, people. Upgrades. Okay, lovely. Because I don't really want to get more buildings going until we can actually be in a place where we can build them. Alright, you are going to make me electromagnetic turbines. The reason I expanded out the electric motor and the what do you call it, the magnetic ring builds, is because these things are really suffering. Like, we're using so much of them and it just cannot keep up. Okay, it's complaining about that. Don't worry, we'll be dealing with that very shortly here. No, you're not going to make this. You're going to make this. I know there's someone out there who's going to be wanting to keep track. We're down to, we've spent, I think it's 50 towers or 49 towers now. So we're halfway through our supply. It is soon going to be time to start producing our own. Also, by the way, I know someone asked me what the purpose of this bar is over here. As you defeat the enemy, you get like upgrades, passive upgrades to your various abilities, and then they stack over here. You can get 8, which I think is really, really cool. Kind of makes it like a tower defense game, right? That's the idea anyway. Alright, we're actually going to put this here because this is eventually going to get an upgrade line into there, so we might as well do this. Make 2. Okay, but that's not what we're here for. We are here for getting distracted. No, we are here for electromagnetic turbines. Be placed over here. We're going to bring in like 1,000 at a time. Demand. And we can now make the better belts. Hell yeah, dude. Well, at least, you know, we can once we've actually got the goods. Alright, and we're going to want like 1,000 of those. And that means we can now start to... Yeah, I think 1,500 is fine. Yeah, we'll do 3,000 of those. We're gonna want a lot of them. All right, you're going to be electromagnetic turbines. Come on out. And then we're gonna need to run it over here. They should be coming through. I wonder what the delay is. Let's have a look. The delay at present is, oh, you guessed it, magnetic coils. Ironically enough, we just need the turbines to come through so we can get the belts to upgrade the magnetic coil belts so that they produce twice as fast, and then we'll have. We don't have to build 3 more. We'll basically have 3 more because right now these are only producing at half capacity. But there we go, they are coming in. That's what matters. That's what matters. We've made 11. Okay, this will make us a further 12. Okay, it's working. It's just slow, but it's working. Okay, next up we need to make our chemical facilities. We unlocked those last time. And our, what do you call these things? The proliferator plants. These ones here, the spray coaters. That's what they're for. That's going to require microcrystalline components, as well as steel, That all looks like the basics to me. You know, the awkward thing is that pretty much nothing else requires microcrystalline components except the spray coater. So what I think I'm actually going to do is something a little unorthodox. I'm not going to fully automate this. I'm going to put a box over here, and that box is going to contain like just a ton of microcrystalline components, more than we'll ever use to actually finish this build. But I'm hoping, against all hope, that that will be enough to then just make this work without us having to get goofy. Because I don't want to have to bring in microcrystalline components just for that purpose, because it's like nothing else uses them in its build. That was done just to irk me, I know it. Okay, but how do we make microcrystalline components? Let's have a look. We need to make it's a 2-in-1 out, takes 2 seconds, takes 2 silicon, takes some copper. Easy peasy. We're going to stick that right over here. Okay, you're going to make me microcrystalline components, which requires, not glass, shit, which requires silicon and copper, and take those out. Awesome. We're going to do 2,000, 1,000. Lovely. And then over here, we're going to make ourselves some more electronic circuits, I think. Yeah. That's going to be really, really handy. We're going to want a ton of these, so let's go ahead and cook up a bunch. Looks like we're completely out of iron. No surprises there. We probably run out of our various deposits. That's something we can fix, though. Why are we out of iron? Yeah, looks like indeed this just simply cannot keep up at present. That's okay. We'll make it work. We're going to have to just expand this, I think. We're going to have to get some better belts going through. Hey, we have 84 of these belts. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and use that to get some of the magnetic coil rings working better, as well as the electronic circuit ones. In order to do that, all we need to do is upgrade this central line to process 12 per second instead of 6. And suddenly, all 6 machines are going to be running. Okay, our upgrades are all done. Let's go ahead and queue up faster assemblers. That's going to be great. We're going to want the reforming refine. We're going to want hydrogen fuel rods. We're going to want magnetic particle traps, supermagnetic field generators, polymer crystal thing. It's all a bunch of techno garbage, but it's all going to work great for us. Okay, next up, these are going to get upgraded. So they move at the correct speed. Lovely. And then we're going to start pushing up the iron. We're going to need more belts, though. Okay, and if you weren't sure how I'm planning on doing this, simply put, we just pull up these wind turbines so that we've got some room, and then we're going to duplicate this entire build. And I think the best way to do this is going to be cut you off over here, because that's where we're going to stick the blueprint again. Going to do one of these. Voila. Use now. Put the buffer back. Ah, and I see another problem we're having, which is that these are not fast enough. That's the real bottleneck here. I was wondering. I'm pretty sure we've got enough stuff. But no, that's the issue. This. There we go. That's going to help. Yes, sir, indeed. We do. Okay, that was the issue. It was a throughput issue, not a production issue. That's good. That's the kind of issue you want to have. Okay, cool. We have upgraded the input side of the smelters now. Time to upgrade the output side as well. And I don't think I've got enough to do the central ones as well, so we'll have to wait a second for those. But then all we're going to do is just grab the smelters. Actually, you know what? We can just do this like this. Just give me the spacing that I need. Just like that will be fine. You know what? We can. So we could fit another one, but we don't need to. Let's just cut it off right there. And then same thing again over here. Okay, this storage is causing more problems than it's solving, so we're just going to remove it and just run this straight in. I don't think we need to worry about backlogs right now. I think right now what we need to worry about is production. Also gives us back some of our more expensive stuff, which is awesome. We're gonna need it. You know what might solve some of the problem? Is just doing this. Just doing the feed in. There we go. Anything that gets backed up gets put back in. Perfect. Okay, for those of you counting, we're down to our last stack of hydrogen fuel rods. We got, well, 5 last stacks. I guess we got 4 in here. We got... we have 59 towers, almost nice. And we have, I don't even know how many. We have 2,000 drones left. There's exactly enough drones to fill each tower. That's how I set it up. Okay, we got the advanced fabrication, so let's go ahead and make it. I don't know if we actually can yet. No, we need graphene and CPU cores, which we do not have. Not even close. Not even close at all. Alright, but we do now make microcrystalline components, though, which is very interesting. Very delectable. And so we're going to grab... You know what? You know what? Just give me a full stack. And we're going to put all of these in here, against my better judgment. And that's going to make us as many proliferators as God or man could ever want. Okay, but we got the spray coaters. Now we need to actually make the stuff that we spray the coats onto. Or with, rather. I don't know how words work anymore. Don't sue me. In order to do that, we're going to want to make the stuff over here. Proliferator Mark 1, that requires coal. Proliferator Mark 2, that requires Mark 1, and some diamonds. Diamonds are made by researching the requisite technology, which I have not done, I realize. The diamonds we need to make are these guys over here, crystal smelting. We make them out of energized graphite. Well, it turns out we've got a lot of that stuff floating around, don't we? Let's go find a good place to put up a smelter for it. Okay, so for my previous series, I have the basic diamond tower ready to go. It's actually already got proliferator coming out and being put in, which is awesome. We're going to have to go back and do all this in a moment. Okay, lovely. This is very specifically going to make diamonds. However, we're going to have to set the recipe because we don't have the tech just yet, but that's okay. We're working it backwards here, right? Okay, next up, we're going to want our basic proliferator, which is this one here. Mark II proliferator tower. So what this does is actually makes the diamonds and the proliferator, and I'm going to put this down as well, in addition to the other one. And my rationale for that is we're also going to need diamonds for science, so we don't want to use them all over here for no reason. Having a few dedicated diamonds doesn't hurt. It will also take a bit of a load off of our actual smelters. There we go. We have the tech now, so we can go ahead and queue this up. There we go, and this will be bringing in all the good stuff. Yes, it is. You're going to make me diamonds. You're going to make me diamonds. And we're going to drag this over. Demand, demand, demand. So this will make the Mark 1s, and it will make the Mark 2s. It's like a full package right there. It brings in the coal, it brings in the diamonds, brings in the energetic graphite, and I'm actually going to double this up. We're going to need a hell of a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to just really lean into it now, so we don't have to worry about shortages a bit later. Okay, so if you're wondering how this works, we bring coal, we run it around the back, that coal gets turned into Proliferator Mark 1. The Mark 1 gets put on this belt and gets put into the Mark 2 machine. The Mark 2 machines are then also fed diamonds, which come out of the tower, and which are made back here. So we bring the coal out, we turn it into energetic graphite, we put the energetic graphite back in, and we turn it into diamonds. Simple as. And now the way the proliferators work, right, is that they spray a device a set number of times. They spray an output a set number of times, and that increases its productivity value when it's used again in other things. So, for example, here, we're running the proliferator through itself to proliferate it. So as it comes in, you'll see it has no little chevrons next to it, right? That means it's not proliferated in the slightest. If I click over here, you'll see that it now has 2 little chevrons in the top right corner, and what that means is that it is getting 20% extra productivity, meaning that we use 20% less coal to produce the same amount of end results, and that applies to anything you put it on. So for example, here we're spraying these diamonds, and by spraying these diamonds, we guarantee that we're going to use 20% less diamonds in any recipe that requires them. Now, something to take note of is that this is not a free upgrade. We will use 70% more energy to do the same work while we're using these machines. But I think that the productivity trade-off is worth it, because energy is basically free, right? You just slap down some more solar panels, and voila, problem solved. But yeah, this is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to build some more solar, but I'm also going to run around and proliferate everything. So I don't really bother with ores on the production side. It's too much to maintain. Instead, I like to do it on the consumption side, right? That's the easiest way to do this. So what we're going to do is bring in... we're going to do it over here. We will also proliferate these on the other side. It doesn't matter if things get sprayed more than once. It doesn't change anything about them. You can spray them as many times as you want. The effect is only applied the one time. Okay, so where are we going to bring this stuff in from, though? I would rather not use this tower. Have we got another tower nearby? Not really. Okay, I think we'll put down another tower there, because I want that tower to bring in the other 2 materials. So instead, let's just put down a tower that's sole purpose, for now anyway, is going to be to bring in the good stuff. And we'll bring in like 500 and store it here. I guess we'll put 50 bots. Why not? It doesn't really make a difference. We have a set number of drones anyway. And we're going to run this forward. And all doing this will do is, it's not going to do much right now, because, I mean, ultimately we are going to be proliferating this stuff where it's produced, but this is just going to make sure that anything we consume for the moment, just in case we miss something, is getting a good coating of the good stuff. It's really going to save us a lot of stress, especially on things like iron. In fact, let's go set that up right now. Let's do steel next, I think. Oh, and by the way, I got this question on my last series. The orientation of these machines does not matter. As long as the proliferator goes in the top and the thing you want to proliferate goes down the bottom, you're happy. Alright, as I lay down this coal mine, we can discuss the fact that pretty much everything in the base is now been proliferated. I lost a bit of the footage there, but it was all exactly the same thing. We go in, we demand some proliferators, and then we place down a tower, calling them in, or rather call them from a tower that's already functional. And actually, I need to do it for the science, so we can demonstrate right here. We could probably do it for the solar panels too. We don't use enough, though. So this is an example of it. This tower calls it in and then shares it between these 2 builds. You just need to run it through the various machines, and you've got all your stuff sorted right there. Since the outputs are now being proliferated, we don't really have to worry about the inputs on this end, but I'm going to do it anyway because there's quite a bit of produce that was not proliferated initially, which could benefit from it now. And again, there is no downside to doing it more than once. It just continues to work. Unfortunately, because we're bringing in coal here, we don't really have room to bring in the proliferator. So I think we'll just bring it around from this machine over here. And the blue science, I don't think we need to worry about a super duper high speed line. I think we can just do this with some yellow belts. I'm going to bring this straight across to here, clear out some solar panels to make space, and then just run it through to there. And all it has to do is pass through the machine. It's a very simple solution. I really like it. Because modules in Factorio are quite involved when you think about it. This is quite straightforward. There we go. And now all of our science, not the 5,000 currently in storage, but all the science after that's going to be proliferated. But of course we will go up to the pole and proliferate the consumption side as well. This is just kind of a bit of future-proofing, I guess. But we are out of proliferator because we are out of coal, of all things. The one thing I said we would never run out of. And lo and behold, I was wrong again, as always. Okay, I'm not too worried about proliferating the input regarding the oil. I'm going to do it anyway, because I think it's probably, now that it's a finite resource, it is probably worth doing. But I am very interested in proliferating this stuff, especially the science we're going to be making out of it. But let's get everything done. I know we use a lot more power this way, but I also kind of don't care. Like I said, the power is free. We can just make more solar panels, and then we're happy. Okay, I could have moved those up a bit, but whatever, this works. Alright, cool. So that's going to proliferate the output there eventually when those come through. Next up, we need to proliferate the inputs here. And that way we don't have to do it everywhere we're collecting it as well, which actually, in my mind, that simplifies things a lot. There we go. That's going to really push up the power consumption, because a lot of those machines are going to use proliferated oil then, but you know what? C'est la vie. That's what I say. Okay, final piece of the puzzle, and it looks like it's not going to be this that this thing brings in. Instead, it's going to be proliferator. Yay! Let's bring in about 400, so we've always got some. And then we're going to, oh dude, we're gonna proliferate the heck out of this science. Now it is being done where it's produced, but I think just to be safe, we're going to do it here as well. Export required. There we go. Come up here, move up a level, and then move on through. Ah, okay. That's a problem. Doesn't line up properly. Alright, well that sounds like a you problem. I'm gonna do it like this. You can't stop me. What? How'd you climb up so quickly? You know what? I don't want to know. Might get in trouble. And I think to do this properly, we're going to need to use a splitter, which is the first time I think I've used one of these on series. Or at least not that wasn't in a blueprint anyway. So we're going to hit tab to change its format. Let's do it like this. Bring you back. You're going to bring out proliferator, right? Proliferator is going to go in the bottom. Then, out the top, we're going to do... Wait, what am I doing? We have one built for purpose here. Give me that splitter. We're going to use this one. There we go, the cross post one. Okay, come in the bottom. Then come out on top. Come out on top. Voila. Proliferating easy. Yeah, this is a bit jank, but, you know, c'est la vie. Is anything actually coming through? No. Why aren't they working, my diamond builds? They are. It's just they can't keep up. Can't keep up with the demand. Well, that's okay. I mean, things will back up, and the demands will back up. Like, for example, here, and then it'll start going elsewhere. Yeah, and then it'll be fine. Yeah, this is all starting to back up, so we should see it start spreading out elsewhere. But that does tell me we don't have enough production to work with it at the speeds we want. But once we've got a bit of a backlog, it shouldn't be as much of a train smash. Also, you are going to take titanium, because I see a mine over there I want to fill. Another problem we're having is that our copper production has completely and utterly bottomed out. The only remaining copper on the map is this, and that little trickle is not enough to cut the mustard. Is that really all the copper we have left? Oh man, we're in trouble. Yeah, we need to get into Stellar a lot faster than I was expecting. Okay, well, we can improve throughput here, but we can't produce more. That's going to be a bit of a problem. A bit of a huge problem. Okay, well that means in practice we probably don't need to stock up 5,000 of these. Let's do 2. And same for this one. We'll do like 4. You know, just that extra 1,000 might make the difference here. Same for you. Don't stock... Actually, you know what? We do so many of those. Those maybe we do stock 5,000. The other ones we can stock like... Oh, let's make it 3 for the greens, because we do want to... We're going to use 3,000 of them to produce the belts we want, so... Yeah, there we go. Okay, fair. Now we're stocking up on magnetic coils, which we're also using to make science, and that's why you want to proliferate stuff, is because it saves you a lot of resources. That's going to give us 20% more copper, which in our case means 60,000 additional copper ore. That's not going to get eaten up. Yeah, that feels like it's worth it. Okay, and I think then just to wrap up the proliferation arc here, we're going to just sort out all of this, because this isn't being done, and then we're happy. Okay, cool. The copper is now being proliferated, guaranteeing that we have that extra 20%. Fantastic. The ore needs to be proliferated well, and it is being extra good, which means we're actually... I think we're getting a net gain of 40% then, because we're both proliferating the input and the output, for 140% additional power consumption, of course. But you know what? I'll take power consumption over running out of resources, because then we're kind of just dead. Okay. We're not going to be able to resolve the copper problem. There's nothing we can do about that other than to go to other planets, and so let's work out what we need to do to get to that. We need planetary logistics, which requires thrusters, so let's make some thrusters. Activate. And I think we need reinforced thruster as well. This is the local logistics system. We need vertical construction 1. Let's go ahead and queue that up. And then what else do we need? That's for the towers we're currently using. Okay, then to get the interstellar logistics, this is the one we need to go to other planets. This is going to require... Oh, what's that made out of? Interesting. That's going to require yellow science. Okay. And we might as well get this too. Okay, for yellow science, we don't want to use as little as possible here. Yellow science is going to cost us... Oh, where is it? Structure matrix. Yellow science costs us the diamonds, which we already make. Awesome. And titanium crystals. Okay, titanium crystal is this one, which requires us to have organic crystal, which is this one, which requires us... Okay, cool. Organic crystal does not require us to use any copper, other than the buildings we use to make it. Okay. Okay, hold on. We're beginning to put together a plan here. Zooming back out to our galactic view, someone pointed out that there is actually a planet over here next to the sun. Look at that. There we go. We have Baviasi 1. We gotta change that name. Any recommendations are welcome. With 7 million copper on it. So yeah, no, our copper woes are fairly resolved. 8 million total. So the other planets are pretty dry for copper, and that's kind of what we're looking for here. We got lots of everything. Not much titanium, in fairness, but not much copper either. And this has got plenty of both. We got everything we're missing, to be completely honest. And it's got lava. Ooh, and solar energy. Ooh. Okay, we have researched how to make thrusters, though we need to start building those so we can make more drones and towers. Thrusters require steel and copper. Well, guess what? We don't have very much of either, but you know what? A little 2-in-1 outbuild, just a small one, just to keep us going, will work just fine here, I think. Okay, we don't need 5,000 thrusters. I think 1,000 is going to work just fine. We're going to want to bring in copper and steel. I think it uses more steel than it uses copper. I'm completely wrong. It uses more copper than it uses steel. We'll do 900 and 600. We really don't need these in huge quantities, and we really don't want to be using this in huge quantities. It's more just about having it, so that we don't have to worry about it later. We'll build up a nice little reserve, and this is just going to be used to make more drones. It doesn't do anything else. Okay, next up we're going to want to make reinforced thrusters, and this is what's used to make the interstellar logistics vessels, right? Our reinforced thrusters are using... Let's have a quick look here. Reinforced thrusters use titanium alloy, CPU cores, reinforced thrusters... Oh, sorry, that's what the ships use. And then these devices use titanium alloy and the particle containers. And it also uses the planetary logistics station, which uses titanium, which we don't have, CPU cores, which we don't have, and particle containers, which we, you guessed it, don't have. Okay, time to build those. Okay, magnetic particle traps we can make at present. We make these using the turbines. Awesome, we have that. Copper, oh god, and graphene. Okay, we don't have graphene. We have to make some graphene. Okay, how do we make graphene? Let's have a look here. We have not researched how to make graphene. Okay, let's grab graphene. How will we make graphene? We will use energetic carbine, energetic graphite, and sulfuric acid. Okay, how do we make sulfuric acid? Hold on, we're working our way down the list. We need to use refined oil, we need to use stone, and we need to use water. Okay, cool. So, we need to first make our refined oil duplicator. which is that technology we spoke about, I think it was last episode. And we're going to head over to our refining area to do just that. Do I have any more refining plants? No, I don't. Let's pick some up. We have lots of stone on the network. Yeah, plenty. And we can put water on the network as well. Or we can just, I mean, there's so many ponds everywhere, right? We can just plumb it in from wherever. Okay, let's do our coal duplicator. Now, once again, this is going to come from a previous game build. Our chemistry, we want to get the... Oh, which one is it under now? I think I had it under basic and then oil refining. Yes, I did. Oil multiplier. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to bring crude oil in the bottom, right? And then we're going to bring coal in the middle, if I remember correctly. So crude oil in the bottom and then coal in the middle. And I think we tile this like vertically, so we'll do it here. So we'll do. Why don't we line it up with this one? Why not? Put it right over there. Yeah, we can tile it just like this then. Ah, I love these little tileable blueprints, man. I'm so proud of these. We made them in the previous series, and they've worked for us for so long. I can't remember how many this can support. I'm going to assume 12, because I think it's the same recipe at the start. So that is 6, 7, 8. Let's do 9, 10, 11, 12. We might as well max it out, right? Alright, and we're going to give this its own tower. It's going to call in coal, and it's going to call in oil. We're going to need to proliferate that oil and that coal. That you're going to bring in oil, you're going to bring in coal, and you're going to bring in some proliferator as well. Perfect. Let's go ahead and demand. I'm going to power it. And let's proliferate. Okay, to give you the quick rundown on how this blueprint works, let's start at the beginning so that you can see. So the crude oil is going to come in along the back. It's going to be fed into this machine. This machine will then crack it into refined oil and hydrogen, 2 to 1. That refined oil and hydrogen will then be placed on these little output belts that go over the middle one. I'm very proud of this. I think it looks great. This will then accept 1 hydrogen and 2 refined oil plus 1 coal, and it's going to turn that into 3 refined oil. So basically you're just turning that extra hydrogen into refined oil so that you don't have to deal with that extra byproduct. You're turning the products of this regular one, adding 1 coal to turn it into 3 refined oil, and it's just a simplified way to do it. Okay, lovely. I have a feeling this belt's not actually going to be able to keep up now that I'm looking at it. Let's see. Okay, well, we're going to want to put some storage on the end, that's for sure. We're going to want a whole lot of refined oil storage. And then I think we'll stick a tower in at the end here. Put it right over there. Okay, we now have a ton of refined oil backed up, which is awesome. We got about 2,500 in there, and another 4,000 or so in here. But this is just the excess we manually pulled out when we were making our hydrogen. How is our hydrogen storage doing, by the way? It is filling up, which is terrifying. Because if that backs up, everything backs up. How is this storage doing? Let's go ahead and give it a few more. We got a new layer of vertical storage, so we can add some extra tankage on top. That's just going to give us a wider buffer. And it looks like we are actually consuming it fast enough. And I think it's mostly because we're turning it into proliferator. Not just red science. We're not really using that much. Okay, let's make our sulfuric acid though, because we needed to both make the titanium alloy for the heavy thrusters, and we needed to make the graphene. So as we know, this is a 3-in, 1-out sulfuric acid build, and we've actually got a whole bunch of that stuff already made. Our chemistry, 3-in, 1-out chemical tower. There it is. Ah, the one thing we don't have are the chemical plants. Oopsie. Yeah, can't do much chemical processing without the chemical processors, so we should probably go make some of those. I don't think I'm actually doing that. That's an oversight. I suppose in the meantime we can pull out the component parts. We're going to need water, stone, and refined oil. So let's get some... And what ratios was that? We need the most stone, so we'll do that first. Then we need water the most, or refined oil the most, I think. Yeah, then refined oil, and then water. Demand. And we're not going to use this too many other places. We will need refined oil for plastic elsewhere, but I think for the most part this is okay. Yeah, I think this is okay. Maybe we'll put this at like 4,000. And then we probably don't need to store that much water. This can just be at like 3. Water's basically free. Speaking of which, we can sort that out, I guess. Let's just do that. Okay, there we go. We are now producing like 1 billion water per second. And we can just run a line of this into here, just to alleviate some of the drone load. Just because we're in the neighborhood. Okay, we now have everything we need to make the sulfuric acid, except, you guessed it, sulfuric acid. So chemical plants require steel, stone, glass, electric circuits. Okay, steel, stone, glass, electric circuits. Where are we? Where do we have? We have steel, we got stone, we got glass. Okay, well, two of the ingredients are over here. So let's do it over here. Yeah, we'll bring electric circuits and hold on, we'll just do it like over there. Because now we got the Capricorn line changing. Oh, it's going to mess it all up. We've gone too far north. Okay, circuit, circuit, and then steel, steel. And you know what? We can actually now make the blue inserters as well, which just take the turbines, which we're making right over here as is. So why don't we just go ahead and cook up a few of those? So you can do it like this, and let's make ourselves some blue turbines, or some blue inserters rather. That easy. Once you got the bus all set up, it all just flows together. Yeah, so you're going to be the blue belts, but that requires the blue boys, which we do not make yet, and we're not going to be able to make for a little while, I don't think. But I guess we can put them. Well, we don't know where we're going to put them yet. But we're never going to want more than, like, I don't know, 900 of this stuff. It's so expensive. It's ridiculous. There we go. There's our chemical plants. Lovely. We can now cook up some sulfuric acid. Excellent. And we should be able to just drag this down. Yes, we can. Oh, perfect. Okay, lovely. The only problem with these things is you can't build them too high up or on the planet. Or you kind of have to build them on the equator. Otherwise, they don't really fit together. At least not the blueprints I've made. But there we go. We are now making some proliferated sulfuric acid. Awesome. Okay, cool. We're going to let that cook. Next up, what's down the daisy chain after this? So we need to make graphene, and that's energetic carbine, energetic, what's this stuff called? Graphite. Energetic graphite plus a little bit of sulfuric acid gives us graphene. Okay, let's make some graphene. That's a 2-in, 1-out. Okay, so we're going to make ourselves some graphene. The graphene requires us to bring in energetic carbide at 3,000 units, roughly, of backlog, as well as 1,000 units of sulfuric acid. And that's, of course, once again, just to make our little buffer in storage. Excellent. And you know what? This has got an extra slot, so let's bring in some proliferator here, too. Okay, great. Quick and easy as that. We can now do graphene. We're going to just slap down this exact recipe, and we're going to paste that all the way down this line. Excellent. And the same for this one. Cool, and now we're making, I think this is a, this should do 12 per second? We'll see if it saturates this belt. It might be 6 per second, I'm not sure. I think the energetic graphite might be the real bottleneck here. Oh, no, it's saturating the belt. Okay, this is a 12 per second graphene. That's perfect, that's all we need. Okay, cool, we now make graphene, we now make everything. What were we making the graphene for again? Remind me, gamers? I think it was to make this thing, the particle container? Yes, it was. Okay, cool. So we need a 3-in-1-out tower build to build our particle containers. Well, just so happens that we got just that. Let me stick this over here with all the other minor components. There's like the proliferator and the other junk. I think that'll work fine just there. Colliding with stuff. I think it might be the proliferator. It was the proliferator that was colliding. Okay. Let's build that, and that's going to very slowly make us our particle containers. We don't need these in large quantities, not right now anyway, so that's fine. Okay, so we're going to make ourselves some particle containers, again, very slowly, but we are going to make them right over here. And what do they require again? It is a ratio of 2 to 2. Okay, 2 of everything. So we're going to want 2, 2, and 2. And we're going to do, regrettably, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Demand, demand, demand. And we're going to output these bad boys. And we're going to go install like 1,000. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to halve this. We don't even need this many. This is very expensive. We only need to be able to buffer like maybe like 500 of them. Like we don't use them in that large quantities, I promise. That's that one checked off. Now we need to make the processors, and that's a 2-in-1-out as well. But we're actually going to want to build a fairly substantial sized one for that. So I'm actually going to break out these things. The 2-in-1-out tower with the advanced constructors. assemblers. That's what they're called. I'm going to put that there, and it's going to complain it doesn't got any, but we can go make them now. Now that we make the graphene, we can now make these things. Okay, so to make these work, we need graphene and, ironically enough, processors. Well, we can bring in graphene over here and processors. But I have a feeling we probably don't want to put graphene all the way down the line. So instead, what I'm going to do is run it, as in, like, we don't need to run it, like, all the way down this road. Neither do we do for the processors, to be honest. So we're just going to run it to there. And then bring it in as normal. Yeah, the end of the bus tends to get a little bit more squiggly. As you sort of, you only need like 1 or 2 of each thing, you know, you don't need as many as you might need of other stuff. And we now have the blue inserters, which are pretty power hungry, but they cross these long distances really, really fast. Okay, I think to just jumpstart our main circuit build, we'll just do a small basic one as well. This will never be able to keep up with the actual demand, that's why I'm building the big one as well. Tower builds basic. We're going to want the basic 2 in 1 out. There it is. And this will just do like some basic circuits on, I guess. And we can just stick that there, just because it fits mostly. Okay, great. That should jumpstart the CPU core production, or the processor production rather. And that's going to allow us to at least make a few of the machines we need to make like the proper build of this, right? How are we doing for power, by the way? Astonishingly, not bottoming out just yet. I mean, we don't have enough, but we're not zeroing out. And there's all the solar panels we need to maybe not zero out even more. Okay, our little CPU core machine has been bubbling along while I've been laying down some more solar. And yay, we have 24, or rather we have 41 of the advanced assemblers, and we only need 24. So we are good. Let's go ahead and lay these down. Excellent. Alright, this is going to make a lot of CPU cores as opposed to a few. We're going to need a lot of CPU cores. I know they're not called CPU cores, I know they're called processors. The names in this game are a little bit eclectic. Some might say batshit insane. So I kind of just name them whatever feels right in the moment, you know? Like, it's fine. It's really fine. Don't stress yourselves too much about it. It's a computer game. Okay, cool. So CPU cores are pouring in now, or rather processors. I'll probably get it right at some point. And now we need to use those processors and those things to make ourselves a tower. But not just any tower, we want to make the interplanetary logistics. And I think we need to have, yeah, we need yellow science to do that. Okay, cool. So let's get the high strength titanium alloy. Also needs yellow science, never mind. We can now make the structure matrix, right? We just need the high strength crystal, which is titanium, and a organic crystal. Okay, cool. We can make a quick titanium smelter right over... where do we want this? Where do we want this? Right over here would work. Oh shit, and we are out of juice. That's not good. Okay, that is the last of our power. We're gonna have to start making our own now. Here we go, and those are the last. That's the last of those, and the last of those. Oof. Oof. Okay. So fine. We'll be fine. Probably. Maybe. Who knows. Also, I think this base is now a dud. Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah, these ore patches are completely empty. We can recycle a lot of this. Don't mind if I do. Okay, let's put down our titanium smelter, and I think we can now move up to the tower smelting. We'll do a... We don't need that one. We just want a 36 per second smelter. I think we want the 2-second recipe. That's the one. Yeah. That's a big boy, huh? Okay. Lay it down. Okay, lovely. We are now producing a bajillion titanium per second. I think 36 per second to be slightly more precise. And we're feeling pretty good about it. Okay, what's up next on the list? We now need to make organic crystals. To make organic crystals, we require a little bit more chemistry. That's going to be specifically, I think we need to make plastic first. Yeah, and plastic is refined oil and energetic graphite. That's pretty easy. Another 2 in 1 out branch, just like this one over here. In fact, why don't we slap it down right next door? Okay, so you're going to make plastic. Okay, and the final step of the puzzle for today. I don't think we're actually going to get to the research today, unfortunately. We are running way over time. We need to make the actual organic crystals and the titanium crystals. So the organic crystals are a 3 in 1 out, and they're quite slow. It takes 6 seconds. So I think this is the kind of time when we want maybe a slightly more powerful build. You know, we want to get the 3-in-1 out, but maybe we want to double it up. Or face it this way. Ooh, that's tempting as well. Do it like that. Yeah, we could do one there. We might be able to fit in a second one next to it, maybe. We might have to do a little bit of landscaping, though, to make that happen. I think you need to move. You should be fine. Try that again. Control V. That uses the last blueprint, by the way, if you didn't know. So we can stick that right there. That's a 3-in-1 out. And then I think we're just going to have to fill in a little bit of a corner over here. I don't want to put down any foundation. I just want to do that. Awesome. Let's paste again. And try and line this all up nicely. Oh, that's not nicely. Oh, these won't line up because the shapes are different. Okay, but that'll work. Probably. We need more belts. And a lot more inserters, too. Oh, we didn't finish some inserters down there. That's good to know. Okay, nice. All of the inserters have been placed where they are meant to be. That is very good. We are not bringing in any proliferator here, which is a little bit concerning, but yeah, that's kind of the case all over the board. I think we need significantly more production in that regard. But anyway, awesome. That's going to work for all this as well. Okay, we're going to be having you bring in organic crystals and organic crystals. Just to be clear, these don't actually use any copper. No, so I don't care how much of these we produce. So let's bring in plastic here. Bring in 2,000. Same for this. 2,000. And then what do we need? What was it? Refined oil and water. Okay, refined oil, water. We could fit another row of it over here if we plan it correctly. Because all we actually would need to do is pick up this. Yeah, all of this, right? Use now. And then we're just going to give it a rotate. We might be able to fit it over here. Aha, we can. Now, we don't need to proliferate it again, though. And then all we do is just link up this end to this end. We might have to move some things, though. I think we might actually have just enough space to pull this off. It'll be kind of crazy if we actually can. Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, no, we're just too over. But I think we can just move this up a layer, and then it should still work. Yeah, there we go, that works. And then bring it over here, and then we can bring it down, and then it can connect up. Perfect. And then you just connect there. Hey, that works. Alright, so now we're just shy on refined oil. That's not too much of a problem. That we can get more of. Ah, okay, and I see a bit of a mistake I've made. I brought in a 12-speed line over here, and then moved it down to 6-speed going on. So this has just been backing up like crazy. We should be able to consume that much pretty comfortably. Alright, next up. Core energy is depleting soon, so we need to make ourselves some fuel. And we have everything we need to do it now, including some power towers. I don't know why I put that down. Okay, lovely. So let's go ahead and put together two things. One, we want... Oh, unfortunately, I don't have it. Okay. I was going to do the power tower, which is... It basically just makes the little fuel rods. But I like to put that next to my main base so I know where to look for it. So where is that main base? Let's go back to it real quick. We're going to set that up over here. And then we're going to set up organic crystals, and then we're going to be done with ourselves. Something else we can also pre-plan is our tower. And this is the tower that, you guessed it, builds towers. I like to put it right over here. And then as towers become available, that will work. You know what? We can put it at the end of it for a change. How about that? Put it like over here. We can't build the big towers. Those are the spoilers. These are the interstellar ones that we can make later. But these are really helpful because these make all the little towers. They make the little towers. They make the medium towers. They make the big towers. They make the spicy drink. They make the vodka king. Make the vodka drink. They make the lager drink. Okay, and then while we've got that, we might as well build our power tower. So this is going to get placed. Let's do it over here. That'll be fine. We're going to make and store, I don't know, let's say like, we don't even need like 400 of these. We can do 600, I suppose, for a bit of backlog. You can technically use them as fuel in other generators. And to make that, we just need to bring in some hydrogen in very large quantities and some titanium in very small quantities. Demand. And then we just slap down a few machines. We're only going to need a few. You already are going to only need like 3 or 4 of these. So we'll do 3 on each side, I guess. It's already overkill. And we do the usual 2 in 1 out. So we're going to bring in a ton of hydrogen on either side. 10 per fuel rod we want to make, which is crazy. And then some titanium. And of course, proliferation. Always be proliferating, because you do actually get more power out of it if you proliferate it. Okay, there we go. And we've already produced 36 of them. Make that 48. Make that 60. Yeah, no, we're doing just fine. Okay, final piece of the puzzle for today, and then we're going to have to call it quits, is to make our titanium crystals. That's going to organic crystal and 3 titanium. Pretty straightforward, 2 in 1 out. We've done it a million times at this point. Let's stamp it down. Alright, but thank you everybody very much for hanging out today. That has been a lot of fun. We've gotten a lot of progress done. We have built like a billion things. It's definitely the day of building. The building a billions. But I will see you all in the next one. And as always, if you like the video, then like the video. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers! And of course, a huge thank you to our channel members and patrons for this month. Couch Potato, The Senate, Kelly Ananas, Call Me Bo82, Riley David, LCG Canyon Sahar, Knee Cruncher, Old Man Tater, Frickin' Friendly Beaver, Not K Arthur, Cut Beef Go Ham, Jack Smallman, Rivo, Adachi, I'm Alpha, King, Alan Osella Chair, Hair, Ragnar Skull Crew, Raija, Rob, Depoyo44, Pratham Parush, Sleep Deprived Sam, Badass Beast, Charlie Weber, Mermix, Mo Romans, Officer C4, Yan the Pan, Pyro, Kilithaza, Eve Roxanne, Kodiak, Dimitri Liako, CCMD, Wedgie FRG, Lunar Shots, Darky, Hedrick Ebert, Black Omega 9, The Emperor, Denispheros, Big Bird 18th, Josh Thompson, Chad Farista, Mermix 42, and Millennium Dawn. You guys all rock.